the city, maybe most of it, so maybe it's not really the same old question, but if we have a camping ban in that open space, and again, this law is pertaining to everyone, not just people who are experiencing homelessness, would this law then overturn those bans as well?
Ms. Summer?
To be clear, right now, the bill encourages that we not adopt, but that we would have to cease enforcement of those ordinances, and specifically ordinances that could conflict with the rights set out in this bill. So I believe a park curfew would certainly fall under that, regardless of whether or not it's in a municipality.
Representative Singh?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I appreciate your indulgence since we've got CNL sitting here. The committee had an amendment passed out earlier, 001. The question I want to ask, what the amendment does is it changes page 5, line 21. And to give you the gist of that, right now it says that counties, cities, municipalities are encouraged not to act. The amendment would change it to shall not enact, as regarding those new rights outlined in subsection 2. There was some verbal gymnastics earlier that we may litigate, we may not litigate. I didn't get a clear answer on that one. But do you see, if this particular amendment is enacted, that you will face litigation by groups like the ACLU?
Ms. Summer?
Thank you, Madam Chair. That's hard to predict, but changing it to shall not enact would certainly provide a stronger case.
Okay. Representative Clinton-Smith?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Ms. Dollar. In your opening statement, you referred not only to the municipalities, but you referred to business interests. And I wonder if you could expand on that, and if you would address if there is litigation, and I did find in the bill that private security personnel would be prevented from so-called harassment. So private companies, private property owners, private businesses like grocery stores, movie theaters, if they hire private security personnel and then they're accused of harassing and they're sued and there's a lawsuit against a private business, is that harmful to the business environment? Would that, for example, cause companies to move out of the state, or would we create fewer jobs here in Colorado with the unintended consequence of doubling the number of people who are homeless because they cannot get jobs?
They're not connected.
Ms. Summer?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate that. If I recall correctly, and I'm going to come back and double check this language, but the bill expressly states that a municipal or any government authority, I think it says counties, cities, municipalities, and other subdivisions of the state could not enact or could not had to cease enforcement of those ordinances. I think practically how it may play out for businesses, and I think we may have somebody that may be able to answer this better, is that if there is someone that is obstructing a property and people are not coming in and they have concerns, if they call law enforcement will not be able to do anything to really take care of that. Under this bill, we would, right, in a public space, so a public space being a sidewalk outside of a business in this scenario, or a shopping center.
Representative Rosenthal?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, if there were litigation, particularly in the smaller towns, with, let's just say, a smaller city attorney or town attorney, would they be able to handle this kind of litigation?
Ms. Summer?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We always have concerns over small towns being litigated. We certainly have had small towns that have been the subject of lawsuits, and it's obviously time-consuming, requires a lot of administrative work, and so we do see it as certainly something that could cost funds for a small community.
Further questions? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony, Ms. Dollar. I'd like to bring up Ms. Duvall. Please, I'm going to mention, to avoid me from having to interrupt any more testimony, please be mindful of the 3-minute timeline. Welcome to local government. It's good to see you.